But let's start with you, Bob. As you think about what's next for the church, not for your church in particular, but the church, capital C, what do you see is on the horizon? What are some of the hunches you have about that?
For me, the primary hunch that I would say is the whole issue of globalization. I think it's massive. But I think we've thought of globalization in terms of economics and geography or missions. And I would say all three of those perceptions are wrong. When I talk about globalization, I'm talking about globalization as a philosophy. Now that the world is connected, locally, globally, things passing back and forth, what are the implications for that? Our ministries are being affected right at home by things that are happening in global arenas. What Dave said about immigrants is huge. Right here in Dallas, Texas, 44% of the population were born in non-English speaking homes. That's massive. And only about 17% of that were from Latino backgrounds, which means you've got East Asians, Asians, Africans, everything that's come. So for me, the biggest thing is how the world is impacting local ministry as a philosophical construct. I think it's massive. I think we used to wrestle with modernity and post-modernity. I think we're going to be wrestling with everything is present at all places at all times. How do we live our faith, the implication? It's also created massive opportunities for us that we never would have had, that's opened up phenomenal doors.
And you talked about some strengths, some benefits that it brings to us. Name a couple of those, and then also what are some of the challenges associated with that the church is going to have to face?
Well, one of the big things is jobs. So here's what, let me just give you a strength right now. I do a lot of work in the West Bank. I work with Muslims, the clerics, and we go in and work with the mosque, and we work with the government doing engagement things. So we have all these refugees that are from Dallas, that are now coming to Dallas-Fort Worth from Somalia and so forth. Through my relationships on the other side of the world of businessmen, I'm able to connect Muslim businessmen from the other side of the world with many of these refugees that are coming, that builds the relationships with them here, that opens doors for us there. So one of the practical things is jobs that's going back and forth from having a relationship that's on both ends. And then obviously as an evangelical, it's an opportunity for me to share my faith, for our members to share their faith. Yesterday I was with a bunch of Muslims, imams, and we're talking about this big event we're about to do together. Tonight I'm having supper with some rabbis who are coming to our home. And just the whole dimension of, used to when we thought about unchurched, we thought about unchurched in terms of white Anglo-Americans, and that's not the 3% that's moving here, and the world is shifting so radically. I think it gives us an opportunity. I think the people who are coming from around the world in our cities help us get the world a lot better, a lot quicker.